Thank you for joining us. This is live with Miami's Community News, and our very special guest today is Dr. Toshiba. That's what I'm saying, Toshiba Mitchell. So you're the program director for Miami Bridge.
Yes, sir. I'm the program director for Lutheran Services, Florida Miami Bridge Youth and Family Services. It's a mouthful.
Yes. And that's what the LSF stands for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you say yes or anymore, I'm going to leave, okay?
Okay.
All right, so first tell us generically what Miami Bridge is about.
So LSF Miami Bridge, we are a youth emergency homeless shelter located here in Miami-Dade in 2 locations. We have one location in Miami, South River Drive, and we have another location in Homestead that not many people know of, but we're there to serve the community as well.
And so Miami Bridge does what and for what age group?
We serve youth who are experiencing homelessness or other emergency situations, whether it be DCF or court ordered, between the ages of 10 and 17 years old. We serve them in the capacity of counseling residentially. They come into our shelters and they live with us educationally, and we give life skills.
So these children are, what's the age group on the kids?
Between the ages of 10 and 17 years old.
So what is it like for you when you see these 10-year-olds and 12 years old, these 13-year-olds that they should be out playing football or badminton or something, and they need the service that you offer?
Well, I will share with you this. When I meet the youth, they instantly become my kids. So when I see that 10-year-old or 13-year-old, I believe since I've been there, the youngest I've seen is 12 come in. So I haven't seen a 10-year-old come into our shelters yet. During my employment so far with the company, but when I see them, I meet them and they become my kids. And I will say that they do play badminton. We had a youth who participated in the Martin Luther King parade in Homestead the other day. All of our youth went there to support him. He plays in the band, and so we were there to support him.
There are a lot of folks that don't know about these social services that are available throughout the county. Yes. It's a lot. Everywhere. I didn't realize it until we started doing this. If somebody is down and out, they can get help.
Yes, we provide wraparound services not only for the youth, but oftentimes for the parents. We also have a community counseling component where we help families who are experiencing either unhoused or other financial difficulties, needing counseling, just some at-risk behaviors that the youth are displaying. We help them in the community as well.
A couple of years ago, we went to underneath the bridges downtown. Maybe it was 5 years ago. They give away some shoes. My brother Grant came back. He was forever changed. Yes. To see that. So how do you keep on this direction when you see so much frequent sadness and people being misled and wondering about what their future is?
I love that we are positioned in a space that we're able to provide that hope and that help. So when we see, yes, the frequent sadness, but we're able to be that light, that bridge, if you will, it gives me the drive to keep going in this direction. It gives me the wake-up call each morning to say, I need to get out there again. Yes.
So as you were getting your doctorate, did you know what you wanted to do?
No, I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a college administrator, but God had other plans, and so I'm here today.
So how did that happen? It's just like it fell from the sky?
No, I tell young people all the time, I never sought out to get a doctorate degree. I just love learning. And as I was completing my second master's, my advisor said, hey, why don't you take the Miller's Analogy exam so that you can go into the doctorate program? And it just kind of happened. I was loving the learning that I was receiving.
And so often, some people need a helping hand. I got a great story. I know the dad, the son, he was doing teenage stuff way past when he should have stopped. And so he dropped out of school, got his first 2 years. And so he reapplied to the school that he was in. During the time, he went and he became a parachutist. And he was enamored by wind and planes and how winds could control so many things. So he goes back to reapply to school. He says, well, the professor says, what degree do you want to get? Business. And the professor said, business? Yeah. He says, no, you know what? I want physics. I'm going to tell you, 5 years later, he got his 2 masters and about to get his doctorate in some really spaced out, see, I didn't say who it was, but really a spaced out career.
Yeah.
And he was just needed a helping hand, somebody to be there. So when you know that you've helped somebody, what does it do for you?
A wise person, and I can't quote exactly who said it, but they said service is the price we pay to live here on earth. And so as a part of me from very young, whether it had been in the church, through the military, in the community, I've always wanted to serve. And so I graduated from St. Thomas University, and we have to have in leadership studies a servant leadership course work. We study Jesus' leadership style. And in that, it ingrained in me the serving part of my leadership.
You're fortunate you discovered it young.
Yeah.
Some people have to wait until they're 60 or 70, but you grabbed it really early.
Yes, sir.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about your folks.
Oh, my mom and my dad. My dad actually still lives in Homestead, so I still see him frequently. My mom has since passed. She passed when I was very young. But yeah, they did great work. My grandparents are the ones I lived with, and they raised me. My granddad was from Alabama. My grandma was from Georgia. I grew up in Carroll City. I graduated from Carroll City Senior High School. And so they were just a hardworking family who believed that we all should serve. As far back as I can remember, even in the church, as a young person, we served. And so I grew up doing that in my local community.
Did you know that you were committed and passionate and smart?
And as a child?
Yes.
No, I thought I was different. I knew that I was different. I called myself a child of the sky. I love to go outside and ground. I love to look in the sky. I was always infatuated with that upward.
So when you think about these young people that you've been helping, how many years you've been now with Miami Bridge?
A little over a year. Yes.
So when you think about that, one day, one of those kids is going to come back to you. All right?
Yes.
And what are they going to say about you?
I will say in the short time that I've been there already, I've had youth who have left and they come back. Some have interviewed even with our team after leaving, and they say, thank God for the bridge. We have testimonials where they say, thank God for LSF Miami Bridge and the work that they did to change my life and the support that they gave me during that time of need.
So these young people, if they are really in need,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Tell us about the services and how long are they going to be there?
We have different situations. Again, we're helping at-risk youth who may have been court ordered to us, which usually is average 21-day stay if they're court ordered residentially. We have a DCF, or Department of Children and Family Youth, who may have to stay with us until they find more suitable placement. And there is no determination of length of stay. We work with Citrus to provide those services and help them beyond us. And then we have what we call community, or our CIN. CIN stands for Children in Need of Services and Families in Need of Services. We offer them a 30-day stay as them and their parents reconcile their relationships and get on a better track together to move forward.
So how do they apply, or what do they need to do? They have no money, right?
No.
They're going to walk in the door, they're going to call, or whatever it is.
Yes.
All right.
No money needed, I will share. All of our services are offered for free. We are here to support the families in this community. They can call us at any time or visit our website, www.miamibridge.org, or they can call 24 hours, 7 days a week, anytime that even if they want to make a referral. We have our toll free. Our number is 305. It's of course toll free. It's the local number. 635-8953. Again, that's 305-635-8953.
And we're running across the screen right now the website.
Awesome.
All right, so
yes.
people can get more information. Yes. And again, that's the name on the website. What's the address again?
www.miamibridge.org.
I want to tell the story. You might even know who this was. We were interviewing a young lady. She said, Michael, at age 16, I'd worked in 3 migrant camps, Homestead, Texas, and Pennsylvania. She says, I was abused by family members. I left. I went to another family member who then sexually abused me. She found somebody that helped her, directed her to Miami-Dade. She graduated from Miami-Dade. Then she went to Berry. And then she went to Case Western on a full scholarship. So, Michael, I was 20 miles from where I would pick potatoes, I think she said. Mm-hmm. She said, and now, 20 years later, she got $1 million from Jeff Bezos's ex-wife,
Yes.
and then $500,000 from the Miami Foundation, and she opened a place in Homestead. And it's in I call it a church building where she offers social services. And she ended it like this: if you are sexually abused, it is not your fault. All right, you are not alone, and call me. And when that story gets told over and over, that you realize you can be in a really bad place, and in a year or two, you could be on your way to a really, really good place.
Yes.
So tell us about how you can help inspire these little children that tomorrow is filled with hope and sunshine.
This is the inspiration we provide for them. We share with them that you are not your circumstance. And just because this is happening now, it doesn't have to happen forever. We're here to help you. We offer them counseling services as well. So we talk through a lot of the abuse or risky behavior that they may be displaying. And in this case, with it being Human Trafficking Awareness Month, it's very important that we assess for human trafficking with all of the youth.
That is a real thing.
It is a real thing, yes, especially here in the Miami-Dade community. And Miami-Dade, in the state of Florida, Miami-Dade County is number one relative to the numbers of human trafficking. We work really closely with our partners at the state attorney's office to make sure that our youth have access to legal avenues in order to prosecute and to make sure that they are heard. And as you mentioned, that we understand and help them to understand that it's a real thing, because oftentimes we find our youth displaying these behaviors at the hands of someone else, and they're not sure that they're even being trafficked. Right. They oftentimes end up being prosecuted, criminalized for prostitution or theft or other bad behavior or risky behavior in the community, drugs and those kinds of things. But we work with the state attorney's office to make sure that they have the avenues and that they understand what's going on.
Years ago, when a Super Bowl was coming to town, there was a great big boat out front. My brother went out there and filmed it and said, "Where are you, Channel 10, 7-6? Where are you, state attorney? Don't issue them a permit." And when those entities got together, they were able to stop that. I know somebody who was doing some work in this arena. A young girl called him. The pimp gets on the phone, sends to the guy a picture of a guy with his head cut off. I know where you live. I know where your family lives. I know where your daughter goes to school. That is real stuff.
That's real.
And so these people that are in that, they are scared because, it's terrible.
Yes.
But there can be a better tomorrow for them.
Yes, with our help.
Yes.
Once we realize, as you mentioned, that it is real and we make the connection between homelessness, that's why it's important that the LSF Miami Bridge is here in the community, because homelessness and at-risk behaviors goes hand in hand. Oftentimes we take a deeper dive into actually what's happening behind the scenes. When we find a youth that's homeless and on their own, it's not something that we normally see, and we don't want to normalize. So we have to dig deeper to find out, wait, what's really going on? Can we provide the housing? Because if not, the predator or the trafficker will provide that for them.
Yes. So every once in a while we hear about a homeless student graduating from high school or from junior college, maybe from college. When you hear those stories of inspiration, at first I don't know. Oh, yes. It's real.
It's real.
There's a program that you have. It's called the Charette Cares Program. Tell us about that.
The Charette Cares program, okay. Yes. It's actually a program that provides a housing voucher for families who are in need at the time. And so all they have to do, again, is call our 305-635-8953. And based on the family dynamics and need, meaning how many children to the parent ratio, is how much they will qualify for.
And tell us about your team at LSF Miami Bridge.
I am excited about the team that I get to work with. It includes my clinical director, Raquel Lumia, our intake coordinator, Ms. LaShonda Chavez, our medical staff, Mr. Tracy. We have a full-time nurse on staff as well, Mr. Tracy Scott. We have all of our YCS, our youth care specialists, who work 24 hours with our youth, bringing them to school, bringing them home, cooking for them. We do activities with them, and they become our children. We had a youth who was reunited with her parent after 2 years with us, and we threw her a party, and like a go-away party, and say, "Mom, you have to take care of our baby for us," and to stay in touch. And so I love the team that I work with.
So tell us about the services that are offered in your Homestead branch.
So it's one program in both locations. So These services are offered throughout the county. Again, they are counseling services. We have residential counselors and we have community counselors. They will go to your home. If the family would rather have us meet them where they are, we will go into the home and we will do individual counseling with the youth. And we also do counseling with the parents.
And so often the children need some emissary in between the conversation with their parents because they can't quite do that.
Yes.
And there's some point to where, when you go from teenage to young adulthood, at some point the relationship with one's parents changes, but that's the relationship.
Yes.
And so in my particular circumstance, when my kids are going to a tutor years ago, they're now grown, and Michael, I needed to talk to us about something. They couldn't tell me. Yeah. So he needed the middle person, and that was the day, whatever it was, it stopped. All right. And when I watched that happen, you realize that everybody needs a middle person somehow to either talk it out or to be able to help them talk to that other person. So tell us about your experience in that, you personally.
Yes, it's interesting you mentioned that because I get phone calls from families daily to have those conversations where the mom has learned of a new behavior. The youth has come and shared that with our counseling staff and with our staff, and we get to stand as that middle person to say, okay, so let's work on some tools and strategies on both sides. Mom, let's work on a listening skill, and then let's work on teaching and giving the child the tools to be able to speak that to the parent on their own.
So we know that way more than 50% of people get divorced. I don't know what age the kids are.
Yes.
If they're sort of grown, it doesn't matter quite as much, all right, emotionally. Yes. But what percentage of these children that are in your program come from, I don't want to call it broken anymore, but come from single family?
Or untraditional families,
yes,
right?
Yes, okay.
Well, what's interesting, I believe about 35%, because we consider when they have remarried and step-parent, we involve the step-parent or even sometimes the aunt or grandparent, we involve them in the conversation. So we do the individual counseling with the youth, and then we have the family counseling, who whatever that family dynamic may look like. It may be an aunt, it may not even be a mother, maybe an uncle. I've had uncles bring their children, their nieces in.
Years ago, I called the folks at the youth fair and I said, why is it your new big sign, big sculpture that you have out front? Why is there only 3 people? A big person and holding that kid's hands.
Yes.
And they said something along that line. And those kids need it more than the old traditional, which is a mom and a dad, or 2 adults and 2 kids. And so I thought about that when you brought that up, because so many people, it's just not the same from the 40s and 50s and the 60s.
Exactly.
So you care deeply about this.
I love this work.
And there's a reason you do. And why is that?
For me, when I see the youth here, I know that I could have been them. I know that if not for the opportunities that were provided and the support that I had, not just from my family, but from the community. As I mentioned very early on, my church life, my church community helped to guide me. And I know that if it had not been for the community in my life, I could have very well been trafficked, or I could have very well been a at-risk youth, if you will. And so for me, I'm that community to them, and I take it very seriously because I know what that meant in my life.
Sometimes it's just a little off. And we know when you fly or you sail, if you're a half a degree off over 200 miles, you're way off. But while it's going, you don't quite feel it. So you did some work at the Christie House.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I was the director of prevention education there, and I had a lovely time working with Amanda and the prevention education team. And we did a lot in the community, as we do here with the LSF Miami Bridge as well, educating the community, not just our youth, but the entire community. We have symposiums. We invite the community in to partner with us. We had a partnership with Jackson Behavioral Health over for back to school, where they came out and they did workshops for our youth. We last year had a human trafficking symposium with the state attorney's office in our shelters to provide youth with the education around the human trafficking awareness and how to prevent it, how to get help if they themselves have been trafficked or may know someone who has. And so we really work closely with community partners to make sure that not just our youth are served, but the community is served as a whole.
How close were you for going off course?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I probably was off for a second. Yeah, I'm just happy to be on this side of it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you were in the Air Force, and are you currently a reservist?
No, I'm
You're too
not
young
currently.
to do that anymore.
I'm too young to do that anymore.
So tell us about that experience.
I loved it. I met my husband there, and so I cannot say anything bad about the Air Force. I actually did 2 years in the Army active duty, and then I came over to the Air Force for 8 years.
What does that mean, woman in active duty in the Army?
I loved it. I was a patient administration specialist. It gave me a great foundation of discipline. I wake up, it meant now 4:00 in the morning. People say, "What's going on with you?" It just gave
That's
me.
when I wake up.
Yes, it's just when I wake up. It gives me great pride to have served alongside of the people that I did serve with.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Keeps everybody on course.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm sure there have been some people that have helped you along your way.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a good time for you to look in that camera right over there.
Oh my gosh.
And talk to them now, whether they're still here, if they passed. And if you mention by name, that would be wonderful. If you don't, that's okay too.
Yes.
This is your moment.
I mean, I cannot say enough for, one thing I'm grateful for is that I've learned from so many different people in so many different ways. I've learned from the foundation of my family. I've learned from my kids. I've learned from my husband. And I glean from every relationship that I have. So I'm always looking to just take something good out of every experience. So.
Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Thank 2 people.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to cry. It's just, I would think.
There's some little girl that's looking at you right now.
Yes.
I want to be like her.
Mm-hmm.
So be like yourself.
I thank my family, really, my grandma, for just always for being who she was in my life. So, and I'm grateful for that.
That's one of the reasons you're so good at what you do.
Yes.
So, first of all, congratulations. Second, being open
Yes.
allows the sun to come in and for other people to look inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some little kid out there that says, you know what, I think I have it sort of tough, but I see there's a way to get on the other side of that. And again, tell us about the team and how important that is for you and for everybody to work together.
The team is invaluable. The team that I work with at LSF Miami Bridge, each component is important to the health of and wellness of the child and the families, and therefore the community. Even lifting me up at times and saying, "I got you. I'm here for you. I understand." It gets heavy sometimes, and we have to depend and lean on each other to get through those tough days. But we do together, and that's what I enjoy about working with this team.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left.
Oh,
We do. So far, you've done really good. Congratulations. All right.
awesome.
Now, I asked you earlier about the name Toshiba.
Yes.
And I guess we've heard the name Toshiba for 40 years or so. I never met anybody whose name was Toshiba. You mentioned earlier that at the time it was popular, but tell us a little bit about that process.
So yes, the name Toshiba in the 70s was a very popular name. If you were to Google it or put it in a Facebook search bar, you'll see there are many Toshibas spelled the same way that are around my age. And I later learned in life, my mom didn't tell me, so my mom passed when I was 19 years old. And I'm the only child from my mother, and I had to search it up on my own, and later learned that the Toshiba brand or the Toshiba name is a good luck plant that's found in the east of Japan. And that's where the name came from. On my next visit, we can explore my middle name, which is La Tosca, which is even more. We only have 2 minutes, but that's a really interesting one as well.
Okay.
Yes.
People want to find out more about the LSF Miami Bridge. They can go to the website?
Yes, please. Or they can give us a call at 305-635-8953. 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you want to show up, if you need help and you want to show up on our doorstep, we don't turn anyone away. Any youth that shows up on our doorsteps, we will bring them in and allow them in our program.
And if somebody wants to volunteer?
If someone wants to volunteer, they can reach out at the 305-635-8953 number, 24 hours, and we'll get you signed up. I'll be happy to meet you. If you would like to come for a tour as well, we love to show what we do. As you mentioned early on, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So we love to invite you out to see the work that we do.
It's wonderful. we're going to wrap it up here.
Awesome.
And we're going to look into that camera right over there. And this is how we end the show.
Yes.
My brother Grant and I subscribe to the Disney rule, which is when you hug someone, don't stop until they do. Thanks for joining us and have a great day, folks.
Thank you.